Hello everyone, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we are looking at some things you have been tagging me on Instagram, on TikTok, makeup related. So if you see anything questionable, you see anything that you think is really good, send it to me in a message or tag me in it, whatever you want to do. Something to say quickly before we get into this video. Last reaction video I did, I made a mistake of not adding people's credits on screen. I did it on the first person and then me just editing just completely forgot. So I do apologize to anyone who was featured in that video whose credit wasn't on screen. Okay, first up we have a reel from KBeauty on Instagram.
Okay, every foundation does this. Yeah, I didn't even press it hard. Like, you just, just barely touch it. It's gonna transfer. Yeah, see that? So powders can...
Let me just say quickly, that is a lot for okay. So I don't know if you've ever heard, I've mentioned this a few times now, a makeup artist say, make sure product becomes part of your skin. Sorry, I need to put a black liner in my eye. Yeah, you may hear makeup artists say you want the product to become part of your skin. Now that doesn't mean you want it to sit in your skin and fill your pores and clog you all up and all this kind of stuff, although not all makeup does that. It means that you should have the layer so well blended, but when you tap your skin, nothing comes off on your hand and you don't leave fingerprints on there. So this is either a lot of foundation to prove a point about, I'm guessing, powder coming up, or there's been a lot of skin prep underneath. There's going to be some transfer naturally if you don't use powder, but it shouldn't be to that extent. Hopefully no one in your real life is coming up to you and pressing something against your face.
Save that from happening, I'm using my kimchi shake powder. Yeah, kimchi shake. This powder is just so amazing. But you can use whatever powder you have. I love kimchi. I use kimchi. Same glass. You see that? Same glass again.
That's what powder will do when it first sets down. It will set your foundation. Again, over time when your oils get involved. I mean, that's a great demonstration of what powder can do in terms of transfer, but do bear in mind also as well that some powders will allow transfer, and once your natural oils get into your foundation, that may also transfer if you're not topping up the powder. But do bear in mind as well, I think something we do a lot, I'm just going to sanitize my hands quick. Something we do a lot in the makeup trial world, and even when we're swatching things, is put our makeup into situations that don't naturally occur in real life. So one is pushing a glass to your face, pushing something in your face, rubbing your makeup like this to see if it comes on and off, swatching an eyeshadow really hard and intense. And these are occasions that don't often occur while you're wearing your makeup. So do just bear in mind as well that is the situation you're trying to stop from happening something that you've actually experienced or something that does actually happen? Okay, so this is a TikTok from Michaela Agnolin on TikTok. And she is responding to a comment that says, I have put it on, I literally own it, and it's 100% foundation. And what I use when I go to weddings or for pictures, it doesn't have to be a full coverage foundation to be considered a base. That's true. This person says, the person posting the video says, it's not a foundation, babe, enough is enough.
All right, let's be so for real right now with this comment. Anyways, she thinks this is the same thing as this.
Okay, so if you don't know what you're looking at, the one on the right, the green thing, that's now a smudge on the side of the screen, is the Arborian CC green color corrector thing, and on the left is the Armani, is that Luminous Silk? Foundation, iconic foundation. Yes.
Same thing as this. Okay. So let's see. I'll put a tiny bit, just like... This is basically like a moisturizer. Look how sheer. It's basically like...
Can I just say, you might see some jumping in there. That's not the person posting this doing anything to the content. I don't know what it is with your phone. I don't know if it's Instagram's camera or the iPhone camera. When you're doing something close to it, it kind of jolts in and out for some reason. It's really strange.
Just color really corrects that redness. See how sheer that is? I mean, you can still see like my veins and everything through it. Okay, now this is a foundation, obviously. So she wants to compare these. Okay. So this is where I put this red CC cream. And this just corrects redness, and it's like... She wants to compare these two. Sweetie, I mean, there is no comparison, okay? Let me just let me just put the 2 and 2 in front. This is a foundation, okay? And this is Armani Luminous Silk, okay? This is a beautiful foundation. I love it. But I did not want that on my wedding day. This is the CC Red Correct, what my makeup artist used. Okay, it's very sheer. It literally just takes out redness. It's basically like your skin, but better without redness because I have rosacea. This is foundation, okay? Obviously it needs to be blended out with a beauty blender, but that is like, that's full coverage. Please stop telling me that these two are the same things. I mean, you sound silly and you're saying you're in the industry, so you should know better.
Well, factually, foundation doesn't have to be full coverage. A foundation is the foundation for the rest of your makeup, right? So it evens out skin tone, it neutralizes the base. Foundations don't have to have full coverage. Let's get that straight first, right? However, they're also right that CC cream means color correcting cream, BB cream is a beauty balm. So BB has a little bit more coverage, whereas CC is made for color correction and is very lightweight. So yes, the Abore, I mean, we can look at the product itself and see what it says. It's not necessarily a foundation. Some people might use it as a foundation because it can give some coverage. And if you're lucky enough that the way it blends into the skin, because it does turn into a flesh tone, in quotes, if you're lucky enough that that is your shade and you can build it up, then good for you. Yeah, use it as your foundation. You could use face paint for foundation if you can make it match your skin tone, right? So they describe a product as an anti-redness CC Red Correct, the anti-redness CC cream. CC Red Correct is a skin perfector that delivers instant anti-redness color correction. The green tinted anti-redness cream transforms on the skin, to even out the skin tone, blur the complexion, and add radiance in a glance. Even out the skin tone, blur the complexion, and add radiance. That could be considered a foundation. It doesn't have to be full coverage. Let's get that right. Remember, it doesn't have to be full coverage to be a foundation. That's why we have tinted BB creams, lightweight coverage foundations. The perfect Korean hybrid product for skin prone to redness. Can I just say something really interesting? Aborian never used to lean on the KBeauty aspect. They were always very much French pharmacy. And now that KBeauty is becoming super popular, always has been, but now it's becoming a little bit more well-known internationally, they're really leaning on the KBeauty thing. So listen, it can be worn as your foundation. You could be like, I use this as my foundation. I use concealer as my foundation, all this kind of stuff, right? But they don't claim anywhere on the website that it does reduce redness. It's also not that deep. The person who commented this, who they were replying to, then commented here, said, the Aborian tinted moisturizer is the exact one I own. It's beautiful, but I can literally see it adding color to your hand. Yeah, and that's okay. Light coverage base is still a base. That's true. It's not basically a moisturizer. You can't sleep in it because it's not just skincare. There's encapsulated pigment in it, and that's okay. This person responds, love, there's no argument here. You said it's foundation. It's not foundation. Goodbye, have a say. But people, it has coverage and it can be used as a foundation. Someone else commented, if it has pigment in it, put any other makeup on top of it. It is in fact foundation. Less pigment does not equal no pigment. That's true. Someone said, whatever floats your boat. Green color corrector is not a foundation. Someone says, look up the definition of a foundation. Green color corrector is foundation. I don't know why she's so like focused on being like, it's not a foundation. If someone uses it as a foundation, it's a foundation. It's fine. This is from Vivora Vivs on TikTok. This says on screen, you don't need a concealer, you need a matte highlighter. Just saying no to under the eyes. Don't do that. Do you remember when video first started coming to short form platforms like Instagram? People would always have no makeup on, they look at their face and they do this, like, fuck, I'm ugly, and then they'll put on loads of makeup. It's like, oh my god, why are you teaching us all to hate our face with no makeup on? I'm not saying this person's doing that. So she's doing a bit on her chin, around her nose, around the mouth, and middle of her forehead, and areas where you genuinely want to add a little bit of highlight. Nice. And then just blend it in with a blush. Should we try this? I mean, it'll work because it's a matte highlight. This is a thing as well. Can I just say, highlight doesn't necessarily always mean the finish of a product. It doesn't always have to be glowy or shimmery. Highlight is a highlighted area. And that can be done with matte white if you want to. This is from Cologram. And it's white highlight with a brush in a little set. Let's use that. I know it's weird, I just happen to have this, but genuinely, I do just happen to have all my stuff around me. So on this diagram, we have like a triangle in the middle of the forehead. This is a very sheer powder, so it's actually not like crazy luminous. And it's literally the shade white, but very subtle. I don't really want to go over my eye makeup with this. I mean, yeah, if you add the color, if you add white to anything, yeah, look how nice that looks under my eyes. If you add white to anything, of course, it's going to add highlight or brightness to that area, we should say. Oh, I've got to cut that eye makeup with my concealer. It's fine, as well. Yeah, I mean, that works. That's a thing. Do I need to buff that in more? Absolutely. That's not my best brush. Okay, next up from Entice Studios. Oh, no. It's going to be shit, isn't it? Okay, so on the screen, we have like a mirror with dots on it, a brush, a sponge, a hand, and a puff, and they're showing how it blends. I've said this a million times before. This isn't how things blend on skin. You cannot use the surface of a mirror and compare it to skin. You can't use the surface of fruit and compare it to skin. That's like me going, oh, I wonder what this foundation looks like on my skin. Pumping it onto a brick and rubbing it in and being like, it's not the same. That's not the effect you're going to get from it. You're actually going to get more coverage from a powder puff with this flatter surface than you would your fingers and blending it in, because your fingers are so firm it's going to blend it out more. And it depends on application method too, because a puff you're pushing into the skin, so you're actually going to get more coverage that way. And it depends how you use a brush. So when you see stuff like this, it's totally inadequate, means nothing, doesn't do anything. This is from Oh My G on Instagram. It says, trying the viral TikTok nose contour hack.
Okay, let's try this quick contour nose hack with an eyeshadow brush. Let's see if it works. So I normally nose contour with eyeshadow, so I'm going to go in with an eyeshadow palette, and I'm going to go in with a cheek powder in a darker shade.
Contouring with eyeshadows is the thing to do. It honestly, go to your eyeshadow palettes, whack them out, your nude ones. They have the best contour shades in there.
So this is the before. Let's see if I can hold this still and not budge it. Right, I'm gonna go in. I've just loaded the brush up. Then just finishing off with some eyeshadow at each side.
That's the contour there, that side bit.
Okay, now for the reveal. I hope I've kept it straight. It doesn't actually look straight, okay.
But then I feel like you don't need a brush, right? Talking about the hack, because hacks are meant to make things easier. I feel like you don't need a brush in the middle, because if you're going to draw two bits down the side of your nose anyway, and like skip the middle, you can visually see the middle of your nose. I mean, unless you need it as a guide, but I don't see why you would. That's where the contour happens.
I think I can. Can you? Yeah, I can tell a difference. I need to go and look at my before. So just finishing off with highlight, of course. I can tell a difference. I actually really like it. Okay, I give this viral hack a 10 out of 10. I really, really like it, and my nose looks snatched.
It does. I give it 8 out of 10 because it works, it looks good, but so you do this, but this is where the contour is happening, just putting it down the side, and you don't really need the brush as a thing, so you could just do that yourself. So the brush then makes a bit of a nuisance, you know what I mean? Hacks are meant to make things easier, not add an extra step, but it looks great. Do you need a brush to be your guide? Can you see the middle of your nose? I think a lot of people can. I love that highlighter though. Okay, if you see anything like that online that you want me to see, go ahead and send it to me in a message. It's probably better that than at me, because sometimes people block me because they don't want me to talk on them. I'm going to do it anyway. All right, thank you so much for joining me. Do give this video a thumbs up, consider subscribing, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.